on this computer. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Dad Whisperer podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, and I'm so excited, guys, that you are here joining me again today, especially if you're a dad who wants to add more tools to your fathering toolbox. You know my passion is to help you as dads become the heroes you want to be and that your daughters need you to be. And you know that these things that we talk about here are also applicable to your relationships with your sons. Well, you know the grid that guides our conversation week after week, which is simply on your mark, get set, go. So dads, picture yourselves standing side by side each other, getting ready to run your fathering race this week. I'm on the sidelines as your coach, cheering you on and saying on your mark, get set, go. On your mark is the topic or the theme, get set, filling that in with stories and stats. Go is always your practical action step so that you can put your love for your daughters and your sons into action this week. Well, today I have a guest coach joining me who I've known for many years. I would really, truly call him a heart friend, a guy that loves men's mission, ministry, mindsets the same way as I do, and his name is Jim Ramos. And when I lived in Oregon, we were so excited to find that we both lived in that state. Okay, we're not even going to get started on what that all means. But Jim Ramos founded Men in the Arena in 2012 with a vision of leading men to be their best version in Christ. And he's rapidly becoming one of the most premier voices to Christian men in America. Jim hosts the Men in the Arena podcast. I've had the privilege of being one of his female guests, one of his only female guests, downloaded by men in 122 different countries. There's also a Men in the Arena Facebook group. Guys, you can join today. Has over 10,000 men from around the world who are engaged in daily conversations relating to manhood. Jim is a sought-after keynote speaker, a podcast guest. He's written 10 books, more under his belt already ready to go. And you can connect with him on his website, which is simply meninthearena.org, where the tagline is leading men to their best version. I love that. And one of his most recent books is titled Strong Men, Dangerous Times, 5 Essentials that Every Man Must Possess to Change His World. You've got to get it. Jim and his wife, Shanna, live in McMinnville, Oregon. They're the parents to 3 adult sons, 2 daughters-in-law, and 1 very loved 7-year-old granddaughter who he refers to as the princess. Welcome, Jim Ramos.
Hey, Michelle, it's always great to see your face. I'm honored to be on your show today.
Well, I'm glad we can have this conversation. So on your mark, we're going to title this conversation, aren't we? What great fathers tell their daughters and granddaughters, right? And that is a take on a free resource that you have on your website. Tell the guys what it is.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting. When my kids were growing up, I had 3 sons. I had this little document in my computer, and it was things I wanted to tell my sons. It was called Tell Him. And as I got older, and as I brought 2 daughters-in-law in and a granddaughter, I realized it should be Tell Them. And so we have 208 things that a father should tell his sons and daughters and granddaughters. And it's a free resource on our website. It's super easy to download, and it's got study reflection questions, and dads can get together with their daughters and sit down and go through this together. And it's simple things like tell them how you met their mom, tell them they're beautiful, simple things, but profound to guys who oftentimes we don't know what to say or how to say it.
Well, and I love how you called them in your subtitle, conversation prompts for engaged fathers. And I'm all about helping dads step up and step in to be engaged, which I know is your passion as well. And I even wrote down, I want to say some of my favorites that I saw in the list. If dads are saying, whoa, here's another guy helping me have the words when I don't have them. So day 1, tell them about the day they were born, which you just said. Day 2, tell them it's okay to fail. Day 3, tell them about a scar and how you got it. And then you have a verse and then some questions. Day 8, tell them or him or her to respect mom. Day 16, tell her about her first words. Day 17, tell them to look people in the eye when you meet them. I thought that was such an awesome way to say it. Okay, few more. Do you like hearing my favorites?
I do.
These are my favorites. Day 22, tell them to love her mom. So it's not just, respecting, but it's how to love mom.
Mhm.
Day 35, tell them that your wife takes priority over your kids and why. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Mhm.
here's the end. Tell them when life gets chaotic, lean into Jesus. Tell them you believe in him, meaning Jesus, and tell them about the saving power of the gospel. And if you're a dad listening that isn't on that page with Christianity, that's okay. What would you say to that dad that goes, okay, you're getting a little bit top heavy here, Ramos, and kind of, I'm not quite there as a spiritual leader. What do you tell that dad?
Hey, just go through all the other ones. Start where you are. Take the next step. And if the next step for you is leaning into these ones that are not as threatening, do it. Do
Yeah, there
what
you
you
go.
can do. I would never ask a dad to be someone he's not. I would ask a dad to be the best version of himself.
Okay, so let's go back in your story.
Uh-huh.
Tell me what you were like as a kid. Where did you come to be at a place in your adult life to be so concerned about raising up men to be leaders, great dads, great husbands? Tell me more of that backstory in your own life.
You know what? I actually have a great dad. I mean, I've got a great dad. He made some mistakes in the 70s that led to my parents getting divorced on my 13th birthday. But
Oh,
but
wow.
it's really, here's something that'll inspire you. So in my pocket, I've got a knife, and this is a knife that my dad gave me just a couple weeks ago. And this was his dad's knife. And so
Oh,
my dad gave
wow.
my kids a series of knives. So at Christmas, I gave each son 3 knives: a knife that my dad had, a knife that my grandpa had, and another knife. And so I gave one of my sons a knife similar to this that my dad gave me when I was 32 years old. Now, I've got a great relationship with my dad. And I said, this knife is special to me. And my kid said, what? Why? And I said, because this knife, your grandpa gave this knife to me. It's the first time in my life he ever said, I love you. And I was 32 years old.
Come on.
And my kids were like, what? You're kidding me, Dad? Because you say it to us like every day of the week. And Grandpa says it to us now, too. I go, because Grandpa, we've trained Grandpa to do it, because in our family, saying I love you is boring. We just say I love you all the time. But that's because my dad, who loved me, and I knew he loved me, he never told me he loved me. He never affirmed how he felt verbally. And
Mm.
so the day he finally did, he did it like this, Michelle. He had this knife and he goes, hey, I want to give you this knife. Here, I love you. It was the most
Oh,
awkward thing ever. He'd been scripting it out in his brain for probably hours, but
and turned his head away as he quick
turned his
slipped
head
it.
away. He didn't know how to handle it. But to me, I said, you know what? I've got a great dad who didn't tell me certain things. And I want my kids to, and my sons, I want my daughters-in-law. I've got 2. I want my granddaughters, I want them to know beyond a shadow of a doubt certain things, and certain things I want to tell them until they're bored of hearing it. It's almost like, oh, here we go again. Love you too.
Well,
And
you know what I love hearing, Jim, is that so many of us, not just men, women too, tend to repeat the patterns that we
yes,
saw modeled in our parents, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes consciously. But here you are saying, I'm going to learn. Here's what I wish I would have had.
yep,
So I'm going to be intentional now, enough to even call this document Tell Them, because I
yes.
wasn't told. I love that.
Yeah, I was showed a lot of things, but I
Mhm.
wasn't told certain things. I was told a lot of things. Well, I have a great dad. I'm not bad mouthing my dad. I'm just saying every one of us is going to pass on some baggage to our children. As good of a dad as I've tried to be, my kids are they're looking back going, I need to change this and this that dad did wrong, or I needed
Yeah.
more of this and this. But for me, I realized I needed to be a man who I'm not going to shrink back from expressing my love verbally to the people that I love.
Okay, so here's what's interesting about that is that, again, this is a stereotype, is that men connect by doing, women
Yes.
connect by talking. So here you are messing the whole feng shui up by going, I'm going to be a man who talks to my boys. So it wasn't just to daughters or granddaughter, daughter-in-laws. Where did that come from? Because it seems maybe atypical for, I would imagine, a lot of men that you've rubbed shoulders with.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I go back into the Bible, and if it's something that comes natural to us, if it's our default, then God is probably asking us to step beyond that, right? So God stepped out of his default setting, ruling and reigning in heaven, became a child. In Ephesians 5, we see God telling men to step out of their default setting, which is respect. And he says 5 times to love. He tells women who default to love to respect. And so for me, when I look at myself as a man who loves to do, kinesthetically or by doing, I know that God is saying to me, Jim, I appreciate that you're doing what I've created you to do, that your default setting is action, but I love you so much, I'm not going to leave you that way. Therefore, I'm going to ask you to do what you don't do as well, but what your wife does really well and your mom does really well. They are really good at verbal expression. I want you to put that part at, not Jim, I don't want to make you a female, but I want you to move beyond your default setting into this other realm so that you can be the best version of you, because that's what Jesus did. That's what God modeled. And that's how he's called us to model our lives, to step beyond our default and to do something challenging for our character.
What impact, I would even say, what changes have you seen in yourself? Maybe that's your own self-awareness. Maybe some of it is input you've gotten from your wife or your sons. But what difference has it made in your life, Jim, to become more of a verbal communicator?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's been really fun to watch my manly adult sons who are 28, 26, and 24. When I say I love you, they just snap back, love you, Dad, love you, Dad. And they actually initiate it. When we in the phone calls, it's I love you, Dad. And to me, I feel like I know we have broken a heritage that was passed to me, that was that men don't verbally express. Now, my dad's dad did not verbally express to him either. He showed it, but he didn't verbally express it. And so for me, I thought, okay, I want to break that cycle. So my job is to create a legacy for the generations below me. And that was one way I could change my legacy. And it's been fun to see that with my daughters-in-law now. Hey, I love you, I love you, I love you, back and forth. My dad never expressed that to my wife. And that was difficult for her, because a father-in-law should express that to his daughter-in-law if she truly has come into their family and taken their name, right? And so my job is to really affirm those women in my life now, that they are daughters, that they carry the family name. And we have a line in our family that Ramoses don't leave their own behind. So you are a Ramos now,
and
good,
you
bad,
came
or
up
ugly.
with that?
So interesting. So I have a granddaughter, and that granddaughter came from my oldest son, who, when he went away to college, he said, Dad, I'm going to live my time. And in his time, he produced a daughter out of wedlock. We did not know that she was alive until she was almost a year old.
Wow.
And the mother said, hey, there were several other candidates, and James was the lucky DNA winner. And so she told him, hey, you don't have to, there was no relationship. It was a party and it was a one-night stand.
Okay.
And he just decided, to move outside of the realm that he was raised. And she said to him, I don't ask you to raise this kid. I'm not asking you for anything, but I am asking you to make a decision. Are you going to be in this girl's life or not? And so I began to leverage my resources. I had several friends who married women, single women who had children. I had other friends who were daughters that were born out of wedlock and had no dad. I had all these resources. And so after talking to many, many people, because James was actually leaning towards, I'm out, take her. I don't want to, and my dad made a comment to me, and it changed it all. He said, we're Ramoses, and we don't leave our own behind. So I went back to my son. I said, hey, talk to my wife. I said, you can do what you can do. You're a man. Do whatever you want. We are going to support you. But this little granddaughter needs champions, and we are going to be her grandparents. And every grandchild has their favorite grandparents, and that's going to be us. And as soon as we said that, the world just kind of came into alignment. He's like, I'm in, Dad.
Because he's not alone. He's not alone in the fight.
And he's been a great dad. And his fiance is a girl, a beautiful woman who actually works for me. And her dad kind of abandoned her for his second family. And so she's like, we're not leaving this girl. And this girl at Christmas had a pile of presents 6 feet high. I'm not kidding you. She's spoiled rotten. And I'm like, Naomi, I don't even call her Naomi. I just call her the princess. I go, do you feel the love? And she goes, oh, Papa, I'm so loved. I mean, she just really, and the funny part is her middle name is Grace. And her mother, when I met her mother, I said, why'd you name her Grace? She goes, I don't even know what that word means. I just like it. And I said, oh my gosh, I based my whole life on grace.
Let me tell you what it means.
Oh my gosh, yes. So for us, we're like, we are not only not going to leave her behind, but we're going to elevate her to a status that she knows that she's special, and she does.
And you know what? In a way, you're calling this little Naomi to live up to the meaning of her name. And maybe that could be another day in your thing that's tell her what grace means. Right?
Yeah. And tell her for me, whenever she comes over to the house, there's a couple and she's very, very, very close to my wife. They're very connected. But when she comes around me, I stop my entire world. My entire world focuses on her. She knows it stops. It's like everything stands still and she goes, Papa, and she knows what's happening next. She runs up, I put her in my arms and I start telling her things. I tell her this, you are my princess. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You're even more beautiful than last time. You know, you're worthy, you're strong. I just start spewing prophecy into her life, so to speak, because my time with her as her grandfather is limited and I just need to pump her full of worth and value because yes, and that's what she needs to, my wife needs to know that she's worthy and valuable. My daughters need to know that. And my granddaughter needs to know that you are worthy and valuable and beautiful and precious and strong. And I just remind her that that's so important.
And did you do that as much with your boys when they were that age? Are you different as a grandfather than you were as a father?
Well, with my boys, I was like that. But with my boys, I was very, driving them. So it's a little bit different. They're my sons.
Okay.
This is my granddaughter. So I'm not her parent. I am her grandpa. I'm her papa. I tried to get Rambo and Grandpa. I tried to go with Grambo, but I got overridden. Anyway, so I want to have my limited time with her to be a time where I just elevate her beyond. So she knows when Papa's around, I go play. I mean, honestly, like I tell this funny story. This has happened multiple times, but the first time she said, Papa, can I put makeup on you? And I said, hey, Naomi, do you know who I am? We've got hundreds of thousands of people that follows our men's ministry. Yeah. I mean, I post videos on how to be a man. Get to your room. You're grounded. Of course I didn't. Man, I put the makeup on. I had selfies. I mean, put on Facebook. Right. You know what I mean? And it's happened multiple times.
And isn't that the way it is with daughters or granddaughters, that there's a whole different valve to your heart?
Oh, yeah.
It's opened up. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to keep this conversation going about telling your daughters, which you've clearly shown here, your daughters-in-law and your granddaughter, what they mean to you. Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm talking today with my friend Jim Ramos, founder of Men in the Arena. We're talking about what great fathers tell their daughters and granddaughters. And what I want to do, Jim, is just for a sec, we're talking about how important it is to communicate. Put words. Don't just show your daughters and granddaughters what they mean to you and your daughters-in-law, even your wives who are daughters, but you're literally intentionally changing things up if you were raised in a family where words weren't big and you didn't communicate that way. And I loved your story, Jim, about how it was your dad that literally said, how did he say it? We don't leave
Ramoses behind.
We don't leave Ramoses behind. And did you ever tell James that it was his grandpa that said that?
Oh yeah, that's how I framed it. I said, hey, I talked to people and your grandpa said, and my son James is very close to my dad. So my son James is named after me. I'm James number 2. Okay. My dad is James number 1. And then my grandpa's James number 2 and my grandpa's number 1. So James carries a very special name and he knows it. He knows it. Very close to my dad. And I said, hey, here's what grandpa said. And we're never going to leave her behind. Ever. Even if you do, we're not.
Yeah, we're not. And what I appreciate too about you telling about James' story is that there may be dads listening whose daughters are in a season of one night stands and looking for love in all the wrong places. And dad, that might be your daughter, or your daughter might be the recipient. You might have a son who's with a woman like that with some gaping, I would call them father wounds or father voids. And yet here's what I love that your son, James, on that document where, again, free resource, right?
Oh yeah. He wrote part of the book. He wrote a part. Yeah.
Yep. It's, again, men, it's called Tell Them, ... what great fathers tell their sons and daughters. Here's what he said. Dad told us he loved us until it became so routine that I almost forgot about it when writing this. I have imitated Dad with my daughter to the point of near annoyance. I thought that was funny. I can't tell her enough that she's smart, pretty, or talented. The things my father told me for the first 18 years of my life will stay with me for the remaining 80, and I'll cherish forever that about him. I thought, wow, here's your son now saying about you, the words my dad has spoken to me have mattered. So now let me take this in a different direction, Jim. We're talking about all the positive things. Yay, you're championing your daughters-in-law, your granddaughters, and your sons. Talk to the dad that says, I've done more damage with my words, like we know in Proverbs, right? The power of life and death is where? In the tongue. What does the dad do that says, I have not been like you? Jim Ramos, you're in a whole ionosphere different than me. What does a dad do that says my words have caused so much damage? I don't know how I can ever rebuild that bridge to my daughter's heart.
Oh, people are so much more resilient than we think. I would tell that dad that Romans 8:1 says there's therefore no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And when you condemn yourself, you're outside of God's will for those guys who are spiritual like that. And I would say you would be shocked at how fast you can turn it around, because when your children or your grandchildren, mainly your children, see that you have had a change of heart, they will fall in alignment with that almost as a new person. Like, wow, something new is going on with dad. And they fall. It's amazing how fast it can actually happen. I've got story after story of guys going to their kids and going, I'm so sorry for the man I've been, and I want to change. Will you forgive me? And it launches a whole new season, so that it's never too late. And I'll be honest with you, no matter what you've done and how bad you think you've done it, I'm telling you, it's not that bad. It can be fixed. It can be redeemed. God loves to redeem situations. That's what he does best.
Yeah. And we all, I truly believe, thrive when our heart is open. When any of us close up our heart because we don't want to be hurt anymore, whether it's father wounds or spouse wounds or boyfriend wounds or whatever it is, we're not at our best because we're either self-protective, we're numbing out. That's where addictions come in, and right? All these things that aren't in alignment with our heart being open. And so opening your heart up, Dad, to say, I'm sorry, will you forgive me? And I always add in that you really want to add in the words, tell me how I hurt you when I said, because it's not just you saying, I'm sorry. It's still kind of on you. You forgive me, but it's tell me how I hurt you with that. So you let her talk back in order to know that what you're asking forgiveness for, she knows you understand it. Because I even recently was doing a coaching session, counseling session with a dad and a 13-year-old daughter. And she's like, I'm tired of the I'm sorries. He keeps blowing up. And I'm sorry, will you forgive me? I'm sorry, will you forgive me? But she goes, I mean, this was a smart 13-year-old going, but my dad keeps doing the same thing. And I'm tired of saying, I forgive you. So what would you say to that dad that goes, I keep repeating what I don't want to do? How do I really step in? Do you have some practical, come on, men in the arena, input for that dad?
Well, I would say the first thing that he needs to do, because I've learned this as a husband, as well as a father and a grandfather, is take your ears, wrap them around like elephant ears, wrap them around your daughter, and actually listen to what she's saying. Hear her heart, listen to her, and then whatever. And the beauty of men is that men are great at acting on things. And so when she tells you what you have done wrong, and when she expresses her heart, fix it, guy. We're fixers.
Yeah.
Just make a goal, make an action plan, and get after it. Because most guys are normal, functioning dudes that really want to please and really want to do right. And we don't have the tools. I would say there's a book I really like that helps dads with this. It's called Let's Talk. If they get that book will, I don't know the author's name, but we call her the Dad Whisperer. That book is a great resource. for guys to actually get the what to, it's easy to know, what I need to do, but it's not so easy to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that is a great tool. And honestly, Michelle, not to toot your own horn there, but there's nobody out there telling dads how to besides you. So that's a great resource.
Well, thank you. Unexpected press there. But let me now, I love that you brought up your wife, because I want to segue there. I want to go there now. So every wife is a daughter, every ex-wife, right? We're all women are daughters. And how have you found that in this process of becoming intentionally invested as a communicator, what impact has that had on your wife? Because I think of how many times in the dads groups that I lead, the ABBA Project, I have asked them, how many of you are married to a woman or were married to a woman who you would say has injury from her dad, whether it's absences where dad didn't connect or maybe did cause harm verbally, emotionally, sexually, whatever. And most of the time, it's only maybe one guy that doesn't raise his hand. And I'm like, okay, the women as adults are hemorrhaging still, bleeding, living out of wounds from their dad. Any input for men that can step into the arena as invested husbands or even ex-husbands? Because what they say about, right, their ex-spouse, their kids are here, their daughters are hearing that from dad.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
Yeah, and I'm from a divorced family. I've been married to the same woman for 30 years, but my parents got divorced. And so my wife's dad was a great provider, but he was a fully disabled vet from Vietnam and struggled with some post-traumatic stuff. And then my dad really did not accept my wife. So my wife was, as amazing as she is, I don't think she was the favorite child. So my wife has never fully been in her family. So she's never been fully accepted by a father figure. And that's my opinion. And Shanna would agree. But what I have done, and I knew this early on, and I watched this. And so I've made my mistakes as a husband, as far as how I framed my wife. But with my wife personally, I have told her some things over and over again. And honestly, she's bored. I have told her, and I feel like this is so important. I have told her, I mean, almost every day of my life, I am married to a beautiful woman. I am married to a beautiful, you are so beautiful. Your body is the best. You're beautiful. And so I just really affirm her beauty. That's super important. I tell her I love her like 10 times a day. So that's never been an issue for us. But the other thing I tell,
built her up, or back in the day?
No, I've always told her I've loved her.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell her I love her. It's like with my children until it's boring. And then the other thing I really wanted her to know is that you are worthy of me to pursue you. So she's finally, after 30 years, she makes me pursue her. Like her big thing now is, I'm going to train you because I want you to open the door for me more often. I go, well, I don't have a key fob and I can't get in my car unless I unlock my car. And you're going to so she's realized how valuable she is. She finally is getting that. And so she's walking in that. And then the other thing for me, I call my wife my queen. I have the princess and the queen, right? But I want her, I tell her she's a warrior. So I want my wife, I build her up that she is a warrior, that these things with her dad or whatever have made her stronger than most people. You are strong, you are beautiful, you are worthy. And so these things they're so important for me to build into her, because I don't want a weak woman. I need a strong woman, because strong women produce strong husbands. Weak women produce weak husbands. So if I want my wife to be weak and submissive, not in the biblical sense, but submissive in the secular sense,
like a power,
like a doormat. If I want that kind of woman, she's going to ruin my life. I want a woman who's got courage and who's brave and who's strong, who will call me out and make me a better version of me. And I'm standing here today with you. She launched this Men in the Arena with me. She launched Men in the Arena with me in 2012. She was my CFO. And I'll tell you what launched me into this ministry was a statement she made. I said, honey, I'm going to do this. We may lose our house. We may lose everything. And you know what she said to me?
What?
She said, I have trusted you for 20 years and you've never let me down. And I will trust you again. And I'll tell you what, man, superwoman. She became a hero. So these are the things that's important, because our wives do come with baggage a lot of times.
Yes.
And it's up to us now because they have our name. We're
Yes.
going to be responsible for her heart when we see the master.
And we hurt within the context of relationship, and we heal within the context of relationship. And so
Yep.
men, your wives, your ex-wives, the women you're dating have, like you just said, Jim, their own baggage. And
Yep.
you can either step up and help be a healer, which even can include making amends when you've blown it. That is a powerful healing strategy for us as women. And yet to own it and ask forgiveness, that isn't a deal breaker. In fact, it's a relationship strengthener, as you're just saying.
Yeah.
And so I'm so glad that here, as we get ready to end our conversation, that we're talking even about the way that you have pursued your wife's heart. You're helping heal her heart. And from what I can hear you saying, Jim, is even in her family of origin, if she wasn't the favorite, she wasn't your dad's favorite, she's your favorite. And it sounds like your sons have followed along, if I'm reading between the lines. Is that accurate? In saying,
yes,
we love our mom like our dad loves our mom. And do they tell them? You know, your book is called Tell Them.
Yeah.
Are they communicators to her of the same kind of love that you have?
We are extremely verbally responsive. Yes, very demonstrative. And the funny part, Michelle, and I'll end with this, is my wife got to the point where a couple of years ago, she actually confronted her dad and she confronted my dad with, I'm sick and tired of being second chair here. And it elevated her. Yeah. Oh, you're not going to believe it.
We cannot end before you say, what impact did that have on her own growth?
She's come to realize and believe me finally that she's beautiful, she's strong, she's worthy. And she confronted and just shared with him how she's not, when they heard this, their eyes were open, like, yes, wow, I have done this. And I will tell you this. I took my dad just about a year and a half ago on a hunting trip in Hawaii with my stepmom and my wife did my dad's laundry the whole time. And that changed his whole heart for her. When he saw her serving him and and so everything that she struggled with for the first 30 years of our marriage with her parents and my dad has just flipped the script.
Wow.
So it doesn't have to be that way is what I'm telling you. The baggage doesn't have to be there. You can fix that baggage.
Come on. You know, the word that's come to me today over and over in my mind has been redemption.
Absolutely.
Over and over. Our stories are in a process of being redeemed if we step up and step in. Well,
Absolutely.
I end every show, Jim, with a go step. So here's my final question for you. If you were to give dads one way to begin today, really becoming a great father who tells his daughter and his granddaughter what she means to him, to God, where would you tell him to start?
I would say start with their beauty and go to their value, because young men want to know, do I have what it takes? Young women want to know, am I worth it? Am I worthy? Am I worthy to have a man pursue me, or should I pursue the man? Am I worthy to save my body until I'm marriage, or should I wait and hold it because I'm worthy? So for me, it's you're beautiful and you are worthy.
There you go. So now you don't have to reinvent the wheel, men. Jim's telling you, here are the words. I'm telling you what to tell them. Well, this has been so awesome to be with you. Let me redo that. So great to be with you here today, Jim. Thank you so much for giving your time and your wisdom to me and to our listeners. Well, this wraps up another week's program. It's been so fun to be here with you all. I'm Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, the Dad Whisperer, signing off and encouraging you to make today a day where you intentionally and consistently invest in pursuing your daughter's heart. Go Dads.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, wait, I got to hit and record. Okay, I'll go there. Okay, got that one. Yay, this was so fun.
Cool.
I loved that way better, because before I was like, in fact, I'd read them to Ken, the 5 things, and he even said, I think you should get into Ramos's story more. And I was like, like trauma even, but you did weave that in. Like, I loved this conversation. And I can tell you, I've been doing this since 16. This isn't a conversation I've had before.
Oh,
like,
cool.
It's fresh. It's anointed. How'd it feel?
Raw. It's raw.
Yeah.
We got to share. We got to share our stories.
Okay, let me take a couple pictures. I got to put this on social media. Okay. We always have to have a bunch of them. We're both like, hey. Okay, sometimes it's crazy. The ones I think are gonna work don't. And okay, I'll go up this way. Okay, here, let me go this way. My camera's in front of me. Okay. Oh, you're awesome.
Oh, how
Thank
funny.
you so much. This will air, is it end of March? Oh, April 13th. So out a couple months, but
Well,
thank
just send
you
me the
so
links and
much.
we'll get it out there for you, push it
Yeah,
for you.
definitely. Okay.
Great. Have a great day, Michelle.
Bye. See ya. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.